Hi crafters, welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm G, and so happy that you're with us today. We are going to make the easiest fun fold ever. Are you ready? Let's head down to the crafting table and let's get busy. Okay, I'm going to show you two more samples that are stepped up, jazzed up a little bit at the end of this video. So make sure that you stay with us. But let's go ahead and start making our first easiest fun fold ever. You're going to take a 12 by 12 piece of patterned paper. Now, you will need to pay attention if it is directional, but what we're using this blue and white check, and it is not directional. And we are simply going to cut it at 5 1/4. Now, I want to give you a little tip here. You will probably want to make 2 of these cards at once. So let's go ahead and score first and cut second. So extend your arm, and we are going to put score lines on this pattern paper at 2, 4, 6, and 8. So 2 inches, let's go ahead and score it. Now I will remind you that when you're working with patterned paper, it typically is a lot thinner than cardstock. Move it over to 4. So you want to be very careful of the pressure that you put on it when you make your score lines. Move it on over to 6. And then we're going to move it to 8 and put our last score line. And now we are just going to turn our paper, and we're going to cut it at 5 1/4. That's one cut. Let's go ahead and cut another piece at 5 1/4. And now you have this strip that you can use on another card. Okay, we already have our score lines. Let's just put our trimmer up. And now also a little tip, it's kind of hard to see your score lines when you have patterned paper. So you can just feel, we have a 2, a 4, a 6, and an 8. Now, let's turn it exactly how we want it to show on our card. So the bigger piece right here is on the right-hand side, and we want our pattern to be facing up. So go ahead and put your hand here. Just feel for that 8, and we're just going to crease it. So we have it right here. Now you're going to feel for the next crease. Fold it back. We're just making an accordion. Go ahead and feel that line. And our last line, we're folding back. And it is harder to see your score lines when you have patterned paper like this. But bring in your bone folder and let's give these a good crease. Crease the inside, turn it over, go ahead and crease that back. And now grab your tape or grab your tape runner, and we are just going to glue this down. And then we're going to also glue this flap down. Now look at that. Now we have the beginnings of a fun fold. We have these 2 flaps that are so cute. Now all we need to do is put this on a mat. So I have cut a mat. And this mat is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we are just going to adhere this to our mat. So you can use, once again, a tape runner, or you can use glue. Now the reason I'm not using the oranges of the pattern paper is because I'm going to bring some oranges in to decorate this. Now look at that. What makes this also cute is it does stand up. Look at that. We have our flaps. Quick card. Now you have this one already cut. You can put it together on a mat and you have another card. But let's go ahead and decorate this, and let me show you how we're going to decorate it. I have cut some circles. Look at those beautiful circles. Look at that. I love this die set. And remember, all our measurements and supplies will be listed over on creativemomentsbyg.com in our blog under the easiest fun fold ever. So I know that I want to stamp a message on this one, and I've already selected my message. Now my oranges and my dies to cut the oranges come from the Citrus Blooms bundle, and this cute little message comes from Charming Duck Pond. So let's go ahead and stamp this. And when I stamp it, I'm going to stamp on the left-hand side because I'm going to put some beautiful oranges there. So I'm going to bring in my Night of Navy, tap, 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 and just stamp this as far left as I can go. Now, I have taken this beautiful patterned paper pack, and I used the dies, and I cut out all kinds of oranges because I didn't know what I would need. And then I saw this on the edge of the paper, and I thought, oh, this would be perfect. It already has a straight edge. I can put this right like this after I mount it on my orange. And look at that. I can move this over a little bit and just kind of cut this off. So let's go ahead and set this up on dimensionals just to give it some added height. So let's center this. And let's see where we might want to add this. If I put it, oh, look at that. I can move this out just so that I can cut those tips off. So I can glue this right down on this white circle. So let's just put a little bit of glue there. Let's just move this exactly how I want it. And look at that. Now I'm just going to cut off the tips that are exposed right here, just to round it off a little bit. Oh, and look at that. How cute is that? Now we are going to put this right on top, just like this, as far up as the top. And then we're going to bring in this one and we're going to put it on the second flap. And I'm going to doll it up with some oranges. So let's go ahead and lay this down. Now I'm going to use some dimensionals to raise it up. You don't have to do that. Remember, we just want it on this half right here. But I like to give it some height. So just going to add a few dimensionals. I'm going to put it right up at the top. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Now, we need a circle on this flap as well. So we're just going to bring in our white one. We're going to put it down here, the same distance. So let's just go ahead. And this time, we're just going to lay it flat. So I'm going to bring in the tape runner because I want it to stick immediately. So we're just putting some tape right here on the side. I'm going to get it the same distance. Look at that. Now we're not finished with the inside yet, but let's see which oranges look the best. I think this one does, so I'm going to go ahead and just lay it down with some glue, and then I will cut off the edges. Now I'm going to turn it over and I'm just going to cut this part off right here. Okay, and look at this. Look at how pretty this looks. Now we're going to bring in just a smaller card that we're going to put right here. And before we do that, we're going to add some of our oranges just right here in the corner, and then I'm going to cut it off. Now we don't want to see too much of it, so we know we can go about this far with our oranges. So I think we'll do it this way. Add a little glue. Now you could save this part right here to put maybe on the outside of your envelope. That would be pretty. You could also put these leaves on the outside of your envelope, or you could even put them right here. That would be pretty as well. Let's go ahead and get this glued down. Right in the center. And we have our first fun fold. Look at this. How pretty is that? Now I'm going to show you a jazzed up version of this. So make sure you stay with us. But let's go ahead and make another card that's just a little bit different than this one. We are going to use the Latte Love and then the heartfelt hexagon because we are using this beautiful sentiment right here. Now, I went ahead and I cut a 12 by 12 in half. We're going to bring in our trimmer and we are going to score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. So let's do that. Now, this is two-sided, so we have this on the other side, but I don't think that's quite pretty enough. I like this one. So we're going to keep it facing up, and the larger part of this card we're going to keep right here on the right-hand side, and we're just going to accordion the rest of this. So feel where you have your first score line. We have it right there. Fold to the right, feel for your next score line, because remember, your pattern paper, it's kind of hard sometimes to see where the score line is. Feel where this score line is, go ahead and fold it, and then our last one is right here. Bring in your bone folder and give everything a good crease, even this one under here. Now, we're just going to open this up. We're going to bring in our tape runner this time. Put a little bit of tape and fold it over. We're going to open this one up, put some tape, and fold it over. And look at that. We have that adorable little flaps, both flaps. How cute is that? Now we are going to bring in our mat that we cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we're just going to add this right to the front of it, just to give it some stability and also allow it to stand up, right? So just add a little bit of tape from your tape runner. Center it on your mat. And look at that. Stands up perfectly. How cute is that? Now it's all about decorating it. Look at the colors I have selected. Lost Lagoon, Vanilla for the cardstock, and then I have cut this out from the pattern paper, and we are going to stamp our message right here. Tap, tap, tap. We're going to add this right to the top. We're going to put it on some dimensionals. Add it to our circle. And then we have this one that we're just going to add it flat because it's going on our second flap. Going to add our coffee mug top. We're going to add this right to the front. So we need to go ahead and I'm going to put our dimensionals just here on this side, right there. Close that and let's go ahead and center this. Try to leave the same margin on both sides. And close it. And now we are going to add this one right here. We're just going to put a little bit of tape. And we are going to double mat the inside of this one. Look at how pretty that looks. Now we're going to add a cup of coffee over here, but we are going to add it just to this piece of paper, the vanilla, and then I will cut off the edges. Then we are going to add it right to our mat. And we have another quick fun fold made. And look at how cute this is. Look at that. These little flaps and circles are just so cute. Now take a moment. Which of these two is your favorite? I just love this orange right here. But remember I said I want to show you two more cards that are just a little bit jazzed up. Now look at this beautiful one. We added a pocket full of flowers right here on the front. We added our flowers right in the pocket. We added some jewels. And when you go to open it up to the second flap, look at what you have. A gift card. Oh my goodness. Then you turn the flap and you have a place to write your sentiment. So here is the jazzed up version. And finally, we took it to a different level. We decided to add some triangles. So we just cut a 2-inch square. We created our flaps. We added some strips right here on the inside so that in case you wanted to write, you could do that. Look at that, it's just a triangle. We added another triangle on this flap. You open it up and you have plenty of room to write. So take a moment and let us know which is your favorite. Well, this has to be the quickest fun fold ever to make, and it is so much fun. It's a great way to use your patterned paper that you have, but you just haven't used, and I'm telling you, your friends and family are just going to love it. We sure would appreciate it if you were inspired today. Take a moment, give us a like, and share this with your friends. Well, Monty and I want to wish you a fantastic week, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.